us. Pioneers started on my corner like the cold crush. Had smokers lining up the block like a gold rush. The saying live fast and die young is what they told us. The way that they...
What's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat because this technology is acting really screwed up today. And it's getting on my damn nerves, along with other things. So give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear your boy. And yeah, D. Scott, pros and cons. You like that? I told you I'm a wordsmith. I'm a wordsmith of this shit. Okay, I got a 1 from Malika. So you guys can hear me? Cool. Okay, so here's what it is. I did a reaction video to this Ms. Marvel trailer earlier today, and I was still sitting here cutting the video together and going to put it up as a pre-recorded, and I saw that the audio was messed up on it because at the time that I recorded it, people kept calling my fucking phone. So it screwed up the audio, so everything was all buzzing and you couldn't even hear my freaking voice half the time and what I was saying. So I got frustrated and decided that I would do a live reaction, even though I've already watched the damn thing 3 times. I can't give you a video where you can't even hear the audio of what the hell it is I'm saying. It's freaking pointless. So got to do it this way. It is what it is. It's fucking Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and watch this video for the 4th time and give you some commentary while I'm watching it. So here we go. The first thing I noticed is that the music that they use, Blinding Lights, I like. Homeboy from Numbers in here. Now, this part where they're in the high school and they're calling her a weirdo and all that little mean girl stuff, I'm really liking this part because where they keep showing like thought balloons and stuff like that popping above the girl's head. That's kind of how she is in the comic. That sometimes she's off in her own world and thinking of stuff, and then back into reality or whatever. That's what makes the character fun for me in a sense because she's goofy. She doesn't. She's a child in my eyes right now, but she's a teenager. She's just trying to figure this stuff out. Something she always wanted, and now she got it, and this is the goofy shit you get. Here we go. Now this is the part that first irritated in the whole bracelet thing. Doesn't have telekinetics. Cannot walk on air. That was right. Don't make force field. Okay, let's end this shit and get it over with. I get that one out of there. Get that screen out of there. Excuse me. Are we back? All right. I think we're back now. I thought it was Captain Marvel for a second. Yeah, Luke. That's the thing. So that was one of the main things in my original reaction video I kind of pointed out. You've read the comic books. Kamala Khan's powers don't work like that. That's not how her fucking powers work. In the comic, Kamala Khan got her powers because she was exposed to Terrigen Mist, right? That in the book Infinity, Thanos came to Earth looking for his son, and he made the Earth have to give tribute, or he was going to kill so many people on Earth. Black Bolt of the Inhumans kind of went up against him, and in trying to protect the planet, Black Bolt ignited a Terrigen bomb, and the mist went all over the world, basically throwing people in the cocoons who had latent inhuman genes in them. Kamala Khan was one of those people. She has an inhuman gene. She woke up in a cocoon, broke out of cocoon. She had powers. Now her powers have dick to do with Captain Marvel. Nothing to do with Captain Marvel. But as I warned others, this is the MCU. So you take the comic book material and you got to understand the MCU going to do it a little bit differently because they haven't introduced enough stuff to do it exactly that way. Right? So her powers in the comic were limited to her stretching or embigging ability that she has, which she can make parts of her body larger or smaller. She can shrink, grow tall, stretch, right? Those were the abilities that she had. Her powers didn't come from her goddamn bracelet. They didn't. Now, because it's in the MCU, they have to give her a reason to have powers, right? And since they have not introduced Inhumans into the MCU, they got to work it another way. Now, the way they decided to work it is because Kamala Khan in the comics was a big fan of Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers, who later became Captain Marvel and dropped the Ms. Marvel name. When Kamala Khan got her powers, that was the name she picked for herself. She picked Ms. Marvel to try to follow in the footsteps of Carol Danvers, who had become Captain Marvel. Now, that's all well and good, but I kind of have an issue with little brown girls idolizing white women. I do. Muslim or not. Muslim or not. I think that's probably a problem, right? That the popularity of this character is that she just wants to be Carol Danvers, and Carol Danvers is a blonde-haired white woman. You're a Muslim woman. Why are you idolizing this chick? Now, they can try to spin that shit to make it about, oh, it's heroic and all the rest of that, but what you really get out of this story, even though I enjoyed the story because it was fun, the character was fun, is you get a culture clash kind of situation where her Muslim heritage is rubbing up against her American ideals. That's what it is. Now, if you know the backstory on this character, you know this character was co-created by Sana Amanat for Marvel. And if you've been paying attention to the stuff happening in the background, Sana Amanat was working on this show, but Sana Amanat might have been fired from Marvel Comics recently. Now, because they're just rumors, can't really report them, but there's nothing really to definitively point to and say. But for the crap that was going on for the last year or so, it seems like that might be the case. She might be out of there. So I think it's really interesting that the show is coming out after she was putting so much work into this show to make it authentic and have these Muslim Americans or whatever working on this show to try to make it more authentic to the culture. And then the main person, the main thrust, she is the archetype for this character. It's all based around her, right? She is the archetype or the muse for this character is not there. It's kind of funny, but if you understand the reasons why she's not there and the rumors that was going around, it's funny that you see this character being kind of boy crazy and stuff like that. It's like, Okay, yeah, I would believe that was her. So, with that said, excuse me, it's just hot. I don't want anybody else talking at me while I'm doing my fucking shit. With that all said and done, I like Kamala Khan as a character. I think she was actually the best that I saw her during the Secret Wars event because she was more like a spy and she was doing some shapeshifting stuff and some other things that made her really, really cool. But right after the Secret Wars event, she just went back to status quo in a sense. Not as funny, but still had a story going on. And it kind of bothered me, and that's when I stopped reading it. But that initial run, that first run, was fun. It was a fun read. I enjoyed reading, Ms. Marvel. I'd read her and Miles Morales. It was fun. It was a fun read. And the artist on that book at that time was a hip hop head. So the artist would always slip little slide, sneaky stuff into the backgrounds and stuff like that. Like, you haven't lived till you see the Furious Five pigeons. I'm just saying. But that was the kind of stuff that was slid in there. Or her going to Atlan Island to talk to the Inhumans, and she's riding on the SS Minnow. I mean, come on, man. You got to be of a certain age to catch these jokes and stuff like that. So, how her powers shift for the MCU, to ask Luke question, you have to tie her to Captain Marvel in a way because that's where she gets her name from. How do you do that? Well, in the MCU, Captain Marvel did not get her powers from the original Marvel, the Captain Marvel. She didn't get her powers from a man. From a man? No, she had an engine blow up in her face. So she got Energizer Bunny powers. She got the powers of an engine splashed on her. So now she has, hyperspace engine powers. All right. She gives off blast and she can fly. Okay. Now, where this bracelet is working into the situation, I do not know. I'm guessing that they're going to try to say that this bracelet was experimented on by MCU Marvel and Annette Bening, and somehow that power of that stone, space stone, is in that bracelet as well, and that's what gives her powers. Okay, I don't know. I don't know, but that would be my reasoning as to why her powers look like Captain Marvel's powers a little bit, and why they don't look much like her powers from the comic. There's only a couple scenes in that trailer that you see her embiggening her fists and stretching and punching somebody. But I would think that's because, for the most part, not CG wise, they haven't made people with stretching abilities look really fucking interesting with special effects. It always looks kind of ridiculous. Because I mean, the best that I seen it look was in the last Fantastic Four movie. That's the best I've seen it look. It is, but it always looks kind of goofy. It just does. So yeah, Luke, they might not have needed to change it. They have to put her into the MCU, right? So they have to make it work in some kind of way. That's the closest example to hold to what the character's whole point is to give her the same power set, or to have some reason that her powers are tied to Captain Marvel's. Other than that, there ain't no reason for them to even be connected outside of the fact that she idolizing this white chick, just like they had the little black girl in the Captain Marvel movie idolizing Carol Danvers too. Look, I'm not for that shit. That shit is not entertaining to me. That's like buying the black girl Barbies. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. That's what it's like to me. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't. Artisan MC, could it be one of the nega bands from the Marvel that Marvel had? I would actually accept that, Malika. I would accept that. I would. But here's the thing. If you make it one of the nega bands, they haven't introduced the nega bands at all into this shit, right? Now, if they say that Annette Bening fucking Marvel tested these powers on this bracelet, okay, that just means that at some point they're going to have a Quantum or another Marvel, and Kamala Khan is going to lose that bracelet. She's going to have to give that shit up to give it to somebody that got both bands, and they can do some shit, right? So I'd be all for the nigga bands showing up in the MCU now, because you can give them to somebody who can do some shit. But at the same time, it will just diminish the character. I mean that the character's powers can be taken away at any time, and that's not how her powers in the comics work. It can't be taken away. That's just what the fuck she is now. That's why it ties all into her being an Inhuman and not a mutant or a scientific accident or no shit like that. She's a newly spawned person with powers because she has a latent Inhuman gene. So it makes her powers work a little bit differently. Then they can get into the explaining of how her stretching ability and her embiggening actually works, which is like she is borrowing mass from her past or future self that makes her grow and get bigger and stuff like that. It's a trippy thing that would be interesting for them to try to explain. But just wrapping it in a bracelet, oh, she puts on the bracelet and she got powers, and it's like, what is this, the fucking 80s? Whatever. It means anybody can have her powers. What makes her special now? I hope when we do see the real Captain Marvel in Secret War, they don't depower her. I don't know what you mean by that, Luke Jarvis, because their Secret War story that they do, and you're talking about the real Captain Marvel. Far as I know, the real Captain Marvel is in the comics. The first female Captain Marvel is Monica Rambeau. In the MCU, the real Captain Marvel is Annette Bening. The real Captain Marvel is Annette Bening. Annette Bening ain't coming back. And nobody is really buying Brie Larson Captain Marvel, which kind of sucks for me because I don't hate Captain Marvel as a character. I see what they've done with the character since, Wonder Woman was a movie, and then they needed their new feminist icon in Marvel, and that's what they pushed Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers' ass up there as. Other than that bullshit, I don't have no hate for Carol Danvers as a character. But this MCU version, look, I'm waiting for her to be in a coma so I can get Monica Rambeau, because they fucked that story all the way around. Got Monica Rambeau as a little kid idolizing Carol Danvers. I'm like, nigga, that's reverse. That's not how that worked. That is not how that shit worked. You got it backwards. So in your terms, in the real Captain Marvel, you're gonna have to explain that shit. What's up, to Triv? She's a Middle Eastern female that admires Carol Danvers. 80s logic dictates the sky is the limit. Enigma, you a funny motherfucker sometime. Boy, I swear to God. Shout out to Robin Harris. Or excuse me, not Robin Harris. That was it wasn't even Ricky Harris's joke. I forgot what that comedian's name was. Damn. That's fucked up because I used his joke, and I don't remember. I'm forgetting his name. Damn, he's a dude from New York too. Okay, you're talking about Monica. Yeah, I want to see Monica Rambeau become Captain Marvel. Yeah, I want to see Monica Rambeau on that part. Luke, yeah, I want to see Monica Rambeau become Captain Marvel. I really do, because I'm sick of fucking Brie Larson. I'm sick of hearing about her. And no, throw the black woman up there. Black women ain't bucking for that shit. They don't read fucking comic books. Remember, comic books is lame. There's your black representation. White woman took your spot again, and you let her. with nothing said. Only thing you tried to do is try to push for Black Panther to become a black woman first. Anyway, that's my thing on that. Do I dislike the Kamala Khan character? No, I like her. She's a fun character. She's a fun character. I really like her on the Champions with a group of younger heroes. Miles, Alexander, Sam Alexander, Nova, who else? Vision's daughter. They got a lot of young characters, young teenage characters, which is cool. I like them being the champions and getting developed. Scott Summers from the past. I mean, it works. It works for me. It works for me because it's more of like an amalgamated team. Everybody is not just, well, you're just mutants or you're just science. Throw all these little motherfuckers onto the same team and make your Marvel Titans. You can call them champions. Fine, they're the champions. Get them out there and do something with them. I'm fine with that. So for me, I'm not overly pissed off. I'm not super excited about it, but I'm like, oh, okay, this will be fun. But as soon as I saw how they were doing her powers, I'm like, she don't make shields. She ain't got no telekinetics. The fuck is y'all doing? That's the only thing that made me pause on this. Is like if they it didn't look like they were getting her powers right. That's the only thing that was giving me pause. Other than this, it seems par for the course. The little girl, kind of boy crazy, and she dealing with her family and trying to do her hero thing that for the hero that she idolized. Okay. I don't have to like it. I just have to, be entertained by it. So that's what I'm looking at. So that's it for me. I've done that. I may go ahead and throw up the pre-recorded anyway, so you can see me cussing and fussing because I got calls on 2 phones at the same time, fucking up my recording, irritating as shit. And then it messed up my sound after that. I don't know what the hell was going on. I didn't hear any difference, but apparently my sound was all scratchy and screwed up after that. Fucking dumb shit. So we'll see what happens. 2 Triv is saying, let me get Powerhouse though. Which Powerhouse you talking about? Because there's a Powerhouse I would love to see, but they ain't a Marvel Comics character. It's not a Marvel Comics character at all. Not at all. So which Powerhouse you talking about? Yo, what do you think about Moon Knight? I'm getting more hype for Moon Knight, Luke. I'm getting more hyped about Moon Knight. I'm serious. I'm looking forward to Moon Knight coming. I told y'all I was on media blackout with fucking any more Moon Knight trailers. I told y'all that last week. And sure enough, when I saw this shit, they snuck a Moon Knight trailer right above it in my feed. So I saw this secret agent shit. I was like, oh, fucking hell. It's like, maybe I don't tell them. That shit was looking cool. He got to talk to Mark. Stephen Grant was talking to Mark. I'm like, oh my God. I'm kind of hyped for this Moon Knight. I want to see this Moon Knight. And then I saw where his crescent dagger came from. He pulled it off his chest. I'm like, oh, nigga. Oh, I want to see that shit. Yeah. So I'm hyped for Moon Knight. Moon Knight and Doctor Strange is 2 movies I'm looking forward to that are coming up. Excuse me. Moon Knight, Obi-Wan, Doctor Strange. I'm looking forward to those 3 movies, those 3 shows. 2 shows, 1 movie coming up. So that's why I said Disney is definitely getting my money. They are happily getting my money for the next 3 months. Like, here, take this shit. Come on, let's get it. So, what's the other one? The Boys trailer that came out the other day. Saw that, liked that too. I didn't do a reaction to it. I wasn't sure if I could show all of that shit. But I saw it. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing the boys. Butcher got powers. A whole bunch of people getting killed. Like, god damn. Like, dude, did y'all spare any blood this time around? Like, what the fuck? Like, I got to go back and watch season 2 to refresh myself on what was going on when they stopped, because they took that break and then it was COVID, and then they didn't come back during COVID. They just let it lie for a bit. So it's been enough time and enough stuff has came through my memory that I'm half forgetting what the story was. But I want to check it out. I want to check that out. Yeah, Butcher got powers. Butcher got got eye beams, boy. It's like, woo, it's laser eyes for all you motherfuckers now. Like, that look nasty. That is not the person you need to give powers. Now, I already knew in the boys that they end up getting powers at some point, but I don't believe it was Butcher. I think it was fucking Huey who ended up getting the powers, not Butcher. But you know, they take liberties when they jump mediums, like I told you. So they changed some shit. So Carl Urban has powers. I'm fine with that. Carl Urban is a hell of an actor, boy. Like, I want to see Butcher with some powers. That's gonna be a problem, especially for Homelander. They gotta have a throwdown. Got to throw a hole down. Yeah, yeah. He gonna be a cut. Yep. Super powered cut. Those shows are the triple threat of season endings. Yeah, dude. Yes, yeah. So yeah, but look, the boys coming up in June. So man, that's let me recap. Let me recap real quick because this is coming out in June. So you got Moon Knight coming up at the end of this month. You got Doctor Strange coming up. What is it? May. You got Obi-Wan coming up in March. Or no, I think he's coming up in May too. You got the boys coming up in June. You got Ms. Marvel coming up in June. So the only thing we're missing is something for April that would be interesting enough to, you know, talk about or watch. Yeah, his wife did. I'm glad I got you to watch that shit, AB. You look like you hyped up now. You look like you hyped for the boys. Like, oh my God, his wife did? He's gonna be a cunt. Yep. He is definitely gonna be a cunt. Yes, she did. That boy got no mama. Look, it's gonna be eye beams for everybody. You got Homelander, you got the Sun, and you got Butcher. Eye beams for everybody. I'm telling you, everybody getting laser eyed. Wait, where's my thing at? Where's my thing at? I try not to bring it up when I'm on the damn phone because it get to acting crazy. But there you go. There you go. I will laser eye every fucking one of you. You're gonna be a caught. It's gonna be laser eyes for everybody. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So I'm looking for the boys to just be off the damn hook. I'm gonna get my guilty pleasure of people getting screwed up in that. You left me an email, Malika. Okay, I'll check it when I get home because it's my one early day. I should have been halfway home by now, but I stayed here to try to work on this video and discovered that the rest of the audio was screwed up. So it was like, fuck. Everybody dropping their videos now. I want to have mine up by 5, and my audio on my shit is screwed up. So I can't even really post that shit in good conscience. I can't do that shit. Can't do it. And my shop closed today. So what the fuck? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab dinner and get my ass on the road so I can commute home. I'll be over on Black Artists on the Spot with my boy Noostal so I can get some drawing in. Maybe I'll try my hand at drawing Kamala Khan and some other shit. And I think while I'm on my drive home, I'm gonna finish watching The Equalizer with Denzel Washington because that's a good fucking movie. I'm just saying. And I noticed something watching The Equalizer with Denzel. I forgot something. Everybody gets hyped off of John Wick beating a man to death with a phone book in John Wick 2. Look, Denzel, well, he didn't do it first, but Denzel did kill a dude with a book in The Equalizer with one hit. He didn't have to stuff it in his mouth and just beat him to death. No, he just put it on his neck and just gave him one. Like, reading is fundamental and a weapon. Shit. So I'm gonna go back to watching The Equalizer. Thank you guys for coming through. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I didn't put the banner up there. $ Artisan MC on the Cash App or Artisan_MC on PayPal. And Luke said it was great acting when the son killed the mother by accident. Butcher was about to kill him. Yeah, that was fucked up. I wasn't expecting that turn. You saw what happened to Stormfront. That bitch is legless. Like, ouch. Like, whoo, she's double amputee, boy. She was screaming like Anakin. He also fucked up a dude with a shot glass. Yeah, yeah, Malika. I've watched Equalizer 2 times since yesterday, right? Let's get more stuff out of the movie, right? And then when they showed that shot, when the Russian dude Teddy is sitting there looking at the pictures of the guys that got killed, what happened to that dude's eye when he killed him with that damn shot glass? That shit looked like the T-1000 when it got shot by a shotgun, dude. That shit was all canoed out. Like, god damn. Now, if y'all want to watch something, the reason I got on the Equalizer again was because yesterday or Sunday when I was watching some videos on YouTube, I ran across a like 50-minute featurette about the Equalizer, and it was Antoine Fuqua, Denzel Washington, and the writers and stuff. And I'm guessing this is all bonus features from the Blu-ray disc, which I didn't buy because I wasn't watching Blu-rays that much. But it was really in depth on how they went in with this character and how they made that character purposely not use a gun. And I remember reviewing this movie and telling people that how awesome the movie was, and really picking up the fact that he didn't use a weapon one time. That was the whole thing. He didn't use a weapon. Now you see by watching these behind the scenes interviews and stuff like that, that was the point of contention. That was Denzel's thing, throwing it in there from the jump. He wanted to do it, and he said he doesn't want him to use a gun. So that's why every kill he does is hands-on, what's in the environment, right? It's just whatever's here. That's it, whatever's here is a weapon in the capable hands. Anything is a weapon, which is one of the things I've said forever about people like, oh, nobody should have guns. It's a peaceful society. I'm like, dude, everything is a weapon. A car is a weapon if you're trying to run over a motherfucker. John Wick proved it or showed it to you then. A pencil was a weapon if you use it right. So like, come on, man. When I worked in a big box store, motherfuckers was calling me the Equalizer for that very reason. Because I told them, I was like, no, it's all kind of shit you can use in here. What are you talking about? All of this stuff. This is working at hardware too? That's the most dangerous spot. You crazy? No. Yeah, he died at homeboy's eye for real. He fucked that boy up with a shot glass to the eyeball, boy. It was done deal. He was finished. That shit must have got right behind that optic nerve and took him down. Yeah, I heard that was a really good scene. Him and that actor, that was a really good scene. I watched that scene like twice because I was remembering it when I was just talking about this whole Batman movie thing where Robert Pattinson's Batman is sitting there having this conversation with the Penguin, right? And they're just having a conversation. And I likened it to the scene of Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and Heat sitting down just having a conversation, right? This was another one of those things because it wasn't no, pretense. He told him exactly what the fuck he was going to do. They both know who the other person is. Denzel Washington's character, Robert McCall, he knows Teddy is a fucking killer. He is a sociopath with a suit on. But he also knows who he is. And Teddy knows who Robert McCall is. It's like, this motherfucker trained in something, he ain't right. And he tells him, like, look, I made a promise to somebody that I'd never be that person again. But for you, I'm going to make an exception. He didn't say might. There was no equivocation like, I'm making an exception for you. He basically told that motherfucker, oh, I'm killing you. You're going to die. You are going to die. Like, bruh. Look, that was awesome fucking scene. Because they actually get down to the other thing, too, about looking each other in the eyes. Teddy told him when he came up, do you look at my eyes? What do you see? I don't care about you. You mean nothing to me. You're no different than lint or a bottle cap. And then he turned Denzel, Robert McCall's character, flipped it on him when he was at the end. He was like, when you look into my eyes, what do you see? And he gave him an ice grill like a motherfucker, boy. The whole time he was just, yeah, like a bottle cap of lint. That motherfucker did not care. Boy. He knew he saw his death in that man's eyes. He knew he saw it. He would have had to, character-wise, he would have had to seen his death in that man's eyes, because that man did not care. That was, look. I have a line in one of my raps that I wrote a long time ago, back in the 90s. And the line went, look into my eyes and see the darkness of my soul. That you listen to me, rhyme, you fall deep into my fold. Nigga, look, a lot of times you don't want to look some people in the eye, because you will see some horrifying shit coming back at you. You will. So that was an awesome scene. Good. Thanks for reminding me of that shit, Joe Herb. That was an awesome ass scene, because I hadn't had a chance to talk about it. Book of Eli was good too, but that was the Hughes brothers. It's a little different shit going on with that. Classic protagonist and antagonist mental showdown. Shit, in that scene, it wasn't even a showdown. They just letting it be known, like, nigga, I'm gonna kill you. Because Teddy's sitting up there, the sociopath is sitting up there not tripping. He's sitting there drinking his wine. He could just kill one of his dudes. He's like, whatever. Yeah, what? Fucking ex-spesnots and shit. He ain't tripping. Because he thinking, I'm about to kill this Negro. But that Negro sitting there like, I know who you are too. It's over. I'm making you my mission. And I complete my missions. Shit, that shit was awesome. Y'all better go back and watch The Equalizer on Amazon Prime for $3.99. It's Tuesday. $3.99? Are you out of your mind? Shit, that was a great movie, dude. Second one, not so much. I'm gonna give it a second viewing. But first one, I was loving the first one. And I'm liking it even more watching it for the third time. Still liking it. I like that type of character. I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, you guys. Thank you for coming through. I'm gonna get my ass on the road. Work home. I need to wash some clothes because I didn't do it Sunday. Y'all saw what I was doing Sunday. Double working, and none of the work had to do with me washing my goddamn clothes. Hopefully the third movie is good. Yeah, shout out to Antoine Fuqua. He turned in some solid movies. Training Day, Equalizer, Tears of the Sun. That motherfucker turned out some decent movies. And I'll tell you something, Malika, just so you know, the dude he got to help make the fighting style and how Robert McCall, the Equalizer, function was a black dude or a mixed race dude who had been like an ex-Navy SEAL or some shit. That little bald motherfucker was teaching him some shit. I'm like, woo, it's good to have friends, boy, in your phone book. These motherfuckers with some skills. They actually know some shit. Like, man, yeah, we go for this move here. I'm like, okay, he got some insider info. So I'm getting out of here. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all.
I saw, I conquered, I'm tall, yeah, I came, I saw, I conquered.